Good morning, good evening, good afternoon,
What do you mean, good
everybody,
morning?
wherever you are in the world. Welcome everybody to Endless Blading Show, episode 9. This is the frame overview episode. So we're going to dig into the details about all the frames that we offer. Even if you have no endless frames or you already have 4, this is the show for you to learn a little bit about everything we have to offer and a little bit behind the frame as well and the design.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Brad.
was going to say a bunch of people had reached out to us this last week, and they were asking for this episode. So I thought it's kind of a no-brainer. It's something we haven't done yet, and it's a good way for us to kind of capture the gist of everything we do in this one video. So, what were you going to say, Andrew?
Oh, I was just gonna say, but before we, dive into what I counted, Brad, as right now, I think 21 different frames, based on the website. I think that's the number we have. Then we're gonna start us off with just some endless news, as we always do. Some exciting stuff coming to you. Brad, you want to kick us off? We have a really exciting, actually, sustainability update from the business side. So, Brad, if you want to hit.
Yeah. So I guess it was this past week. We enabled something on the website that allows us to offset the carbon from all the shipping for all your orders. So we obviously are going to be donating a portion of the order to offset the carbon, but then you can, like when you add the item to the shopping cart, there's a little checkbox if you want to contribute 25 cents. So it's not much, it can make a big difference. We all need to do our part here. So excited about that. Right on the homepage, it'll tell you a little bit about that effort and the things that we're investing in, basically, and how much carbon you've helped us offset to date. So I was just looking at it earlier, and it's we've removed 845 kilograms of shipping emissions, which is equivalent to over 2,100 miles driven by a gasoline-powered car. So that's just week 1, which I think is pretty incredible. So maybe we can like report on this every show we do or something.
Yeah, I love that. As somebody who's in the sustainability sphere, I mean, it's great to see that we can do our part here at Endless, and offset some of those shipping costs as well. Getting those wonderful frames to you guys, unfortunately, it does some damage to the environment right now. So we need to find a way to fix that as best we can.
Yeah. We got the Instagram stream going. So hello everyone on Instagram. Great to see you all.
Instagram fam.
We got a couple people here in the chat.
Yeah, great to see you, TS.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. It pops
Warlock Candy. We're coming at you for the first time in the vertical format to be friendly to all of our mobile users out there who are watching on Instagram or tuning in on their phones. So,
which I think is most people these days. I was kind of looking at the analytics and I was like, does anyone really look at anything from their desktop anymore? So anyway, this should make it a lot easier to view us.
But for all those watching on YouTube, of course, as we said last time, our YouTube obligation, don't forget to like and subscribe. But let us know how you like this new format. If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment if you'd like to go back to the horizontal view, or just let us know how we're doing. Always love to hear feedback from everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk some news real fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So carbon offsets, those are great. As some of you who've been paying attention the last week have probably noticed, we're working on some round profile wheels, specifically 76 and 84 millimeter for the arc frames, or your favorite slalom frame or other 5-wheel frame that might take 76 millimeter wheels or 84 millimeter wheels. Just got the prototypes of I have 2 different cores. You have them. We have 2 different core samples we're testing out. Andrew's has been skating them. And then if you guys follow Billy Arlu or Approximately Inline, both those guys have some of the wheels. Also Steffi Blading and a couple other people. Yeah. So
it's a great feel. And I'm really excited that we can expand, the wheel offering.
Yeah, I mean, I think round profile is something that definitely some skaters have a preference for. I mean, while it's not as fast, it does give you like a nice continuous edge transition experience, which is great for flow skating, wizard skating, slalom. What I've always struggled with in the past is that this was basically like the best round profile wheel you could get to Street Invader,
Mhm.
but I don't. This isn't the best urethane on the market.
No.
It's fine, but this is better. And so my goal is for these wheels to be the best round profile wheels on the market with the best urethane. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. Hopefully this summer.
Yeah. And Brad, you did some great work on those too. I mean, this is a custom profile that Brad designed, and I have to say, having skated them for probably around 3 or 4 hours now, they feel great with that nice edge.
Yeah, I mean, some people are probably wondering like, how can a round profile be custom? It's due to the way that the mold gets created and the way that the urethane gets poured. You actually can't have a continuous radius the whole way around. So like the wheel is 24 millimeters wide.
Mhm.
You don't have a 12 millimeter radius. Like it's not physically possible. So
Right.
you end up getting like a compound radius as you go around the wheel. And that's just a function of the manufacturing process. So yeah, anyway, we got this dialed. So it's as close to like a constant 12 millimeter radius as possible. And yeah, pretty happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, Brad did the hard work, so you don't have to think about it. You can just enjoy how it feels. 'Cause
Yeah.
it feels really good. Daniel Torres has a quick question here for you, Brad. Any 80 millimeter full radius wheels planned?
I would like to do it at some point in the future. It's really expensive to make these profile molds. So
Mhm.
we'll start with the 76 and the 84, and then we'll see how they do. And then hopefully we'll make an 80 later this year. But it takes a while. Like I think I ordered these profile tools like last spring.
Mhm.
So it's been a while.
Right.
Um,
But as always, let us know how you like them. Let us know what sizes you want to see. If you want to see, I don't think you'd ever make 100 millimeter, but yeah, just
no,
let us know. Let us know what you want.
yeah, probably not right now. So speaking of 100 millimeter,
Yeah.
exciting news. So we're officially working on a 100 millimeter or 4x100 millimeter UFS frame.
Mhm.
I was getting a lot of encouragement, I should say, from a couple folks to make such a thing. And so I've kind of been working on the design on and off for a while, probably at least the last 6 months.
Mhm.
And I finally have it mostly done. I would say I'm like 97% done. So I just need to tidy up a couple things, make the drawings. Then my plan is to get some prototypes made. We have a handful of people lined up that are going to do some testing. But the goal here with this one is we want to make a 4x100 frame for UFS that's lighter, faster, more versatile, and more responsive than other offerings on the market. I know that's kind of a tall order, but challenge accepted. I think we're up to the task. So I actually just today I put a form on the website. So if you navigate to the menu on the website, you can find Endless 100 UFS on the UFS frame menu,
Mhm.
and you can enter in your email address if you'd like to be kept up to date on the progress of this project and when the pre-order goes live. So in honor of that project, we have a special treat for you all. If you watch to the end of the episode and you promise to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, we're going to post a coupon code, a discount code for 10% off all Endless 100 frames. So Endless 100, 100RB, and Endless 100 Trinity will be 10% off with the code we're going to post at the end of the episode. So you got to watch till the end of the episode. Coupon will be good for 24 hours. So from now until basically 7 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, April 10th. If you're
Mhm.
watching this video after the live stream is over and it's after 7 p.m. on the 10th, that discount code will no longer be valid. So you got to tune in. You got to watch us live.
Yeah. Watch us live. And I think there's one last thing we wanted to chat about real quick, Brad, that is slightly outside of Endless, but also some really exciting news from Rollerblade. Is that right?
Yeah, Evo at This Is Soul had posted something about a new liner from Rollerblade. It looks like they're making a liner called the Nomad, and from the looks of it, it looks to be an Intuition competitor product. I have no information about the price. If anybody's seen this, I'm curious if anybody has any more details about it, but I've just seen a picture. But it looks good. It looks like it's going to be a high quality premium liner. I mean, Rollerblade's always made a decent stock liner, but this looks like it's going to be next level, like at the Intuition level. So
Right.
Rollerblade folks, if you're watching, we'd love to test it and share our thoughts with the world.
Yeah.
If anybody else, has info, drop a comment in the chat.
Yeah. But enough about Rollerblade. We love their skates, but let's talk about our stuff, Brad. Right before the show, Brad said I have every frame that I've made lined up here and ready. So Brad is ready to go. Like I said, I think we have 21 unique frames. I don't think you have the 100 UFS yet, right? Because that's still waiting for a little bit of design. But yeah, 20 different frames to kind of run through. And I did just a couple quick stats here. I think there's around 12 unique setups, what I would call. So, for example, like the Endless 80 on the Trinity and the 165, are somewhat similar setups. So, 12 unique setups. Really excited to run through those. And again, just give you a little bit of info, what kind of skater would want this frame, who is this good for, foot sizes, maybe a little bit of the design philosophy or what Brad was thinking about or other people encouraging him to make this frame, right? So yeah, let's kick it off, Brad. Where do you want to start here?
Okay, I was thinking we'll start. So what I have mostly in front of me is all 165 and UFS frames.
Great.
If something applies to the Trinity, we'll note it. I have the 90 LR because it's kind of an asterisk.
A special one.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to go digging through the garage. I realized that I really need to have Brad's garage sale and sell some of these prototypes. So yeah, stay tuned for that in the future. But let's kick it off with the original trio, which was the Endless 80, 90, and 100.
Right.
So this is the Endless 80. As you can see, it says 80, 84, 100. A little bit of trivia. I originally was going to call this the Endless 84 because technically well, that's not true. Actually, it was meant to be 4x80 with a kind of a longer wheelbase because it was going to have a slight rocker. I felt like we can add a little more stability. And I sent it to somebody to test, and they're like, you could fit 4x84 in there. And I was like, really? And it just hadn't occurred to me to ever try it. Yeah. So, yep, 4x84 fit. I was like, well, nobody's really skating 84 millimeter. This is 2019 timeframe. 84 millimeter wheels were non-existent on the market. So I thought it probably is better to stick an 80, call it the 80 because people are familiar with 80 millimeter wheels. Let's stick an 84 on the frame so people know they have the option. So anyway, this frame, 4x80, 4x84, or 3x, maybe it'd be easier to look at it like this, 3x100.
Right.
Andrew, this is your favorite preferred frame?
I love this frame. Yeah, this is my absolute favorite. It's the lightest frame we offer. It's, I think, the most agile. I love this frame. It's amazing. I skate this on Trinity preferred, but it's great for those people. I think, Brad, you really designed this for kind of the smaller foot person. That was
I would say this is best for anyone under a size 30. I think, do we have 38 or 39 on the website?
38 or 39. Yeah. I don't recall exactly which one.
Yeah, it's a 255 millimeter wheelbase. So yeah, small footed skaters was really the goal. I mean, this was, in my head, I was thinking this would be perfect for a lot of women with smaller feet.
And in my conversations with customers too, this is just a great upgrade for people who really love that 4x80 feel, even for the bigger footed skaters. Again, balanced rocker on the 4x80 or 4x84, which feels great and night and day better than the flat setup of the 4x80. And then that 3x100 setup is flat, and that thing cruises on trails. It's actually my go-to commute skate. I work about 10, 15 minutes away or so by bike, and I love commuting on the 3x100 setup. It feels amazing. Cool. So yeah, great frame.
Cool. So Obviously, everything we just said applies to the Trinity 84, which is basically
Mhm.
the Trinity version of the frame. I think the ride height is
Yeah.
essentially the same. Um,
Right.
and so the weights of the frame are pretty similar. So you'll get, our goal was to give people a very similar experience on Trinity as we created on 165.
Right.
Um, so moving along to the next one, let's do, this is one of our newer frames. This is the Swan frame. Let me show this side. This is actually a prototype in my hand. We don't actually offer this in silver, but um, this one was released last year, and this is a slightly longer wheelbase. It's
Mhm.
260, 259. Man, I should know these.
By heart, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's 259 or 261, something like that.
I
Um,
it was iterated a few times to get
yeah,
to Brad's credit, so
um, it goes 90 millimeter on the outside and 84 millimeter wheels on the inside. So it's kind of a unique setup. It lets it sit at roughly the same ride height as the Endless 80,
Mhm.
but you get those bigger wheels, which kind of, this was designed in collaboration with Nicholas Swan. We actually did a whole episode on this one. Was it episode 3 or 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Episode 4, I believe.
yeah, go check out the channel and you guys can watch it. But yeah, this one was designed specifically to just have a single setup. It's only a 4-wheel frame. So it's kind of unique in that regard compared to
Mhm.
some of our other frames in that it only has a single setup. But it's stiff, it's light. It kind of gives you this in-between size between the Endless 80 and the Endless 90. Great for urban skating, great for the type of skating that Nicholas Swan does, which is like a lot of high impact, a lot of jumps, a lot of precise maneuvers.
Mhm.
Um, and it features our balanced rocker on
Yeah,
this setup.
yeah.
So, and this is 165 only.
Yeah, and some nice upgrades too in terms of those, wings to add a little bit of extra stability to the frame,
Yeah,
compared to
I'll talk about that feature when I get to one of the other frames, but yeah, that's kind of a unique feature. And oh, we should also note that the Swan frame comes with our frame locks included as a standard accessory.
yeah.
So if you're not familiar with those, go read the blurb we have on the website. It's basically, I don't have one sitting here, but it's basically a little part that fits into the
Mhm.
slot and fixes the lateral position of the frame. So can't shift around from when you're really abusing your
Yeah,
setup.
and comes in a beautiful bronze colorway too that, Nicholas picked out. Looks great.
Yeah,
Also, that's episode 3 on the Swan frame, so go check that out.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, Endless 90. I would
Mhm.
say this is probably our most popular frame. This was the first frame that I designed back in 2019. Uh, it does 4x90 with our balanced rocker or 3x110.
Mhm.
Um, the wheelbase is 276 millimeters. I'm proud to say that this is one of the lowest 4x90 setups you can buy for 165 skates. Uh, one of the I would say one of the popular misconceptions, we had to kind of do some education for the first couple of years, was a lot
Yeah,
of people thought that somehow the ride height was compromised by sticking in the 3x110 setup,
right.
and that we were having to increase the height of the frame um, to fit those wheels. But it's actually not the case due to the unique um, mounting configuration of 165 boots. That center 110 wheel tucks right up in the center of the boot, while still allowing you to optimize the ride height based on where the second wheel is in the 4-wheel setup. So if I were to cut through the center of the frame with a wheel in it and a mounting bolt, you would see that this second wheel has very minimal clearance to that frame bolt, probably on
Mm.
the order of a millimeter. So everyone can be confident that whether they ride 3x110 or 4x90 on this frame, you're
Mhm.
getting the absolute lowest ride height possible.
Yeah.
And we ported this one over to Trinity. And so there's the Endless 90 Trinity, which is the exact same configuration. And it is a fair assessment to say that one does have its ride height compromise, because one of the unique aspects of Trinity frames, and that brings me to the next one, which is the 90
Yeah,
LR Trinity.
look at how thin that thing is.
Yeah, I know.
It's so low ride
Let's
height.
see. Let's look at it this way. So the front mounts on a Trinity boot are on either side of that second wheel, so that removes that constraint of that second wheel driving ride height. So
Mhm.
basically, for all the standard sizes we all love to skate, 80 millimeter, 90 millimeter, 100 millimeter wheels, it's always that second wheel that's driving the height of the frame on a 165 boot.
Right.
However, for Trinity, that's not the case. So uh, I knew that some people were going to want like an ultra low ride 4x90 setup that really took advantage of what Trinity had to offer. So I created the 90LR, which stands for low ride. And so this frame gives you 4x90 balanced rocker, the same 4x76 or same 276 millimeter wheelbase, but instead of 3x110, it only fits 3x100. And I kind of envision this as like an urban skating frame.
Right.
And so what I did is I put a really slight micro rocker on the 3-wheel setup. So we call that enhanced flat. You can, like, you really don't feel it when you're pushing, but you feel it when you're making a carve or a turn. It kind of feels like what a tri-skate feels like after you've worn in the wheels a little bit.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So it doesn't feel rockered, but it feels more maneuverable.
Right.
Let's see, what else should we add about the 90 millimeter frames? Oh, they're kind of designed, I would say what would you say the sweet spot is for sizing on that, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 90 again is our most popular frame, partially because it covers kind of the most popular skate sizes. I think really the sweet spot is between probably 39, EU size 39 to 43 or 44, I'd say, is kind of the sweet spot for the frame.
Yeah. And for me, I think like, yeah, I'd agree with that. I would say definitely 40 to 43. If you're in that range, you're definitely Endless 90.
Right.
Yeah.
The great another thing I want to point out about the Endless 90 that's often overlooked is that 3x110 setup, and also on the frame that I think is coming next that you have. That setup I think is fantastic, and a lot of people overlook it. They're just looking for 4x90, but 3x110 on the trails is fast, and those large wheels feel really good on bumpy terrain. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I put those three wheel setups in there for me. I love to trail skate.
mhm.
I probably skate them. I mean, we're often skating together. So, I skate them at least half the time.
Yeah.
Um, and so that leads me to the next frame, which is the
Mhm.
Endless 90 ES.
Right.
And so ES stands for enhanced stability. And let's see if I can get this back up here. So compared to the 90, it's just slightly longer. So while the 90 is 276, this one is 291.
Right.
So this was my answer for larger footed skaters. You know how like all the companies are still making skates that are like size 45 with like a 4x80 setup? It's just
Yeah.
so wrong on so many levels. So
Right.
I was like, how come nobody's scaling the frame to suit the boot size?
Yeah.
So what I did was stretched out the 4x90 because everybody just loves that versatility of the 90 millimeter wheel. I mean,
Mhm.
you still get decent acceleration. It's fast, but the ride height isn't, ridiculous.
Right.
So yeah, we just stretched it out, put a little more space between the wheels. And this is my preferred favorite frame. I especially love this for 3x110.
Mhm.
I had been skating for a long time, actually, the Endless 100 with 3x110,
Yeah.
but it felt a little bit long. And this kind of brought things in to like the sweet spot for me. So I have basically a size 40 shell for the
Mhm.
FR1. And this is, yeah, I love it. So if you are size 44 or above, this is definitely your frame. I would say anybody over size 40 should consider this if you're looking for something with either greater stability and length, or you
Mhm.
just want more push, more speed. This frame is going to give it to you.
Yeah, and even though it does feel a little bit longer, I think you did a great job, Brad, of tuning the rocker. It feels very, very similar to the Endless 90 in terms of its maneuverability, but yeah, just get a little bit more front to back stability. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's great that we get to offer, the 4x90 experience to larger footed skaters, because before it was just, oh, go to the 100 frame, right? But not everybody wants 100 millimeter wheels. They're a little slower to accelerate, a little higher off the ground, that sort of thing. So a great
Yeah.
frame for the bigger
Y-
feet
Yeah.
athlete.
I mean, 90 millimeter is such a great sweet spot. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, definitely the best seller. And so got to give the people what they want.
Got to give the people what they want. That's right.
Um, why don't we've got a number of comments on the Instagram live stream. Why don't we maybe answer some of these questions before I move on to some of the other frames here?
Yeah, let's take it away. Yeah, that sounds great.
Let's see. I'm just going to scroll up quickly.
Mhm.
So let's see. Harvard Patrick says putting 90, 84, 84, 90 gives no rocker at all. I have mine set up with 4x84 or 4x80 on Swan. Yes, you can do some interesting things with the Swan frame, especially on those early prototypes. I think we had it could do like 3 different setups, but it got too crazy.
Right.
So
Yeah, yeah.
at some point, because I have never prototyped a frame more than I did with the Swan frame, at some point I'm going to sell those. I'll probably have to write up like little personalized instruction manuals for each one, because
Yeah, on what wheels to use and yeah, which
yeah.
rocker axles which way.
Uh, Stan, let's see. This is Stampeda's Spams asks, did you guys take the Endless Swan frame inspiration from the FR freestyle frames? Maybe indirectly, not directly. I mean, for anyone unfamiliar, the FR freestyle frames have mixed wheels where the 2 outer wheels are bigger than the inside ones.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I think our design goals were a bit different since those are meant for freestyle or slalom. With Nicholas, it was about, he's always skating on like just crazy surfaces like rocks and, playground stuff.
Yeah.
And so, benches and tables and whatever he can jump off of. So I just wanted a wheel that was bigger than 80 or 84 that would allow him to roll over stuff easier.
Yeah, and I think everybody was kind of converging at least a little bit on that kind of like larger outside wheel concept, because I think Wizard, shortly afterwards came out with the advanced frame, and not quite sure if they nailed it in terms of the ratios, but yeah, we spent a lot of time, I know, kind of testing out those ratios and finding the right one.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the dates of when everything came out, but yeah, the Swan frame definitely predated any of the Wizard Advanced stuff, or
Right.
I think the freestyle frames were definitely on the market. Let's see. Someone asks, when will the out of stock Endless 90 colorways be back in stock? That is a good question. We're always trying to reorder stuff to keep things in stock. I think we have a big shipment coming by ocean freight that I think is going to show up this month. So there might be some colors coming. So we'll make an announcement when we got that stock. Let's see what else. Do you guys have any chrome reflector frames? You mean like this? We'll get to it. It's coming. Eleonora asks, are the frame locks a must-have in your opinion? I think so. I mean, I think they're so compelling that, I filed for a utility patent on them. They really do make a difference. Not only will they kind of hold your frame in place if the frame bolt starts to get a little bit loose, but they also seem to increase the clamping force and just make the whole frame boot connection feel more solid. And so what I experience, and Andrew, you can pipe in with your 2 cents, is
Sure.
I feel like I get better energy transfer and a more responsive experience. Yeah. What do you feel when you use the frame locks?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would say, are they absolutely necessary? No, I think going from like a not endless frame or a not rockered frame to an endless experience is a huge jump. But I do think that, like Brad said, I think they enhance it even more. I'd probably say like 10 to 20%, increase feeling of connection to the boot. I think they make, as a Trinity fanboy, I think they make 165 feel like Trinity in terms of that kind of stiffness and connection.
I think that's what I told you when I first tried them too. I was like, my 165 skates feel like Trinity now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they're really great. They're not that expensive. So yeah,
Mhm.
check them out.
I definitely consider them. I'd say so. Yeah.
Anything? Do we got anything in the
Yeah, a couple
YouTube
things on the
chat?
YouTube real quick. I just want to share some love to TS, my fave too. TS was saying this during the Endless 80, so rock and roll Endless 80 squad. I just want to give a shout out to Dandelion joining us, one of our previous guests here on the show. So great to see you in the chat. Somebody loving their dupe skates as well. That's I don't know how to say it. IMG NKU, and then locks help a lot with the Mercury frame. I don't know how finish really impacts the connection there, but
I mean, they're going
yeah,
to help with any of our frames.
right, right,
So they're specifically to fit into the geometry of endless frame slots,
yeah,
but they should fit a lot of the frames on the market. I think we have one of
right,
the more narrower or narrower, shorter frame slots.
right, right.
Um, some of the other brands like FR are like super long.
And
Um,
last thing to say about frame locks: if you're ever switching frames often, like I am, as Brad's always throwing prototypes at me, they're a great alignment tool too. You always know you're centered on the frame. Your bolts centered on the frame. Everything's good. So another advantage there.
yeah. I will say this: if you're not using frame locks, at least always have a washer underneath the head of your bolt. That is so key for a really good structural connection.
Yep.
And if your skate does not come with a washer for whatever reason, go get one. It will make a difference. All right. So should we move on to some other stuff here? Let's see. What do I got?
Yeah, let's do it.
Endless 80 UFS.
Yes.
So this is going to be hard to see. I shouldn't have picked silver frames for this, but there we go. This frame. So maybe we'll start with this one. Endless 90 UFS. This one actually came out first.
Psych out. Yeah.
Yeah. This was our first UFS frame. And this frame is kind of unique.
Yeah,
so
really
what I
special.
realized, a lot of people, when I was developing the UFS frames, they were thinking, oh, he's going to do a 3-wheel setup. But UFS boots, they don't want to have a 3-wheel setup. They don't want to have a 3-wheel and a 4-wheel setup. It's just like,
Right.
you guys have probably seen there's companies that make combo frames that do like 3x110 and 4x90. But it really penalizes the ride height of the 4x90 setup. And so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play to the strengths of the UFS, system. And I feel like UFS wants you to have 4 wheels, all the same size, so that way you can minimize the ride height. So what we did here is there are multiple setups for this frame. You can either skate 4x80 4 or 4x90. And so we have 2-piece axles that go onto this frame. And so these use our rocker axles. Oops, I'll point to this one. And the rocker axles allow you to configure, if they're all going down, you'll get balanced rocker. And if they're all going up, you get an enhanced flat setup. And so here, the enhanced flat feels like a worn-in flat setup. You get a really good push, but it feels like you've already broken in the wheels, and carving doesn't feel like you're on train tracks. We also designed an optional plastic slider that attaches on these little tiny screw holes here. I forgot to bring the sliders up, but yeah, if you go to the website or the Instagram, you can see some pictures of the sliders on here. Yeah, what else can I say about this? This is great. I mean, it's flat. This is flat. It's going to work with a lot of aggressive boots on the market. Actually have an internal heel raise. So I wanted people that were maybe they really love their them skates or their M12s or their Colts. I didn't want to change their skating posture, so that's why this one has a flat interface on top.
Yeah, and just want to give a shout out to the UFS crowd. You guys are great with 2-piece axles. I don't think I've ever heard of a UFS customer having any issues with those at all. And Brad knew, right, that's the standard for UFS, right? Is a lot of 2-piece axles, and so why not throw them on there and get more setups in? Yeah.
So all the aggressive frames always have 2-piece axles, or it's actually stronger to have a 2-piece axle rather than something threading into the aluminum frame.
Right.
And so, yeah, this frame is just super beefy. It feels incredibly rigid. It was the first
Yeah.
frame that we did to feature an internal bridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you'll find this thing's pretty much indestructible. And if you like to grind, you can throw on the sliders and do all sorts of, power blading.
Yeah, it's by far, I think, the stiffest frame I've skated.
Yeah. And so what we decided to do was make a shorter version of this. I'll compare these here so you guys can see. Oh, so this is 276-ish. And this is, maybe this is the one that's 259. Pull it up on the website. I'm really curious. Maybe somebody pull this up on the website. But
the Swan frame, I think, was 262 or 261.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy does 4x80 when all the rocker axles are down, balanced rocker, or 4x76 enhanced flat when all the rocker axles are up. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention on the Endless 90 UFS, it also applies to this one, is that I wanted both setups, whether you're skating with the balanced rocker or the enhanced flat setup. I always wanted people to have the most height optimized setup possible.
Right.
And I wanted the wheels to be as close to the boot as possible. And so the use of the rocker axles, shifts the wheels up and is kind of reconfiguring the rocker at the same time.
Right.
And that's actually something I applied for a patent for. That gives you these setups that are just really close to the boot. And if you've got a boot with a sole plate that's got like some wheel wells in it, or you're skating something like the FR UFR that has got a bunch of clearance, you can actually skate on this frame 4x80 with all the rocker axles up for like a super low enhanced flat setup. And then on the Endless 90 UFS, same thing with 4x90. If you rocker everything up, you can skate enhanced flat if your boot has the clearance for it.
Right.
And also, again, sliders are available for that 80 UFS. They're just smaller.
And so, Brad, what do you think is the deciding factor for UFS skaters deciding between the 80 and 90? You think it's foot size again, or you think it's just kind of preference for wheel size at that point?
I think, in general, I would say foot size. It seems like a lot of aggressive frames are either 250 or 270-ish. There seems to, so this kind of corresponds to that. So if you're used to skating like, the smaller aggressive frame, then you would probably do well on the Endless 80 UFS. If you're used to skating a larger aggressive frame, you probably do well on the Endless 90 UFS. And again, like you can, if, 90 millimeters is going to seem huge for somebody who's used to skating like a 60 millimeter wheel. So, you can take baby steps and first start out on 84 millimeter wheels. Or you can, on this guy, skate 76 millimeter wheels. This thing is super fun on 76 millimeter wheels at a skate park. So
I'm excited to go back to the skate park with some of those at some point.
If anyone follows What a Spoon, Stephen Johnstone on Instagram, he was skating the Endless 90 for a long time. But then when I came out with the Endless 80 UFS, he switched to this because he just loves that compact, the more compact feel. All right, let's see. Do we have any?
Yeah, I actually have a quick question for you. Yeah, on YouTube here. Would you do an endless frame with a built-in sole plate?
I don't think so. That's not really my niche, my skating area of interest. So yeah, there's so many other things that I want to work on first. But so for now, I'm going to say no, but who knows what the future holds.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Someone here on Instagram asked, this is rolling flat 80 UFS with H block. I don't think I'm ever going to do a design like that.
Yeah. I think removable H blocks, I think Brad and I have decided are challenging.
I don't know if it's just that they're challenging. I just don't know how practical they are for most skaters. It just seems like, Yeah, I don't
Do
know.
do you really want to add, what is it, 25, 30 millimeters on the frame length to
Yeah,
make
it's
up
like,
for
yeah,
the
it really
size?
makes. I mean, you've got some stuff like the Wish frame
Mhm.
that has slightly bigger wheel sizes, and those frames look super long for aggressive skates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think that's something I'm going to be doing anytime soon.
Mhm.
Let's see. All right, shall we go on to the next one?
Yeah,
If any,
let's,
yeah, keep your questions coming, guys. I mean, we'll try and keep up here in the chat and answer any questions you guys have.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Endless 100. This
love
was
it.
one of the original 3
Yeah.
frames I designed.
Mhm,
And this one is 4 by 100
mhm,
balanced rocker or 3 by 110 flat.
mhm.
Um, the unique thing about this frame is I didn't want this thing to be ridiculously tall. So what I did is, remember how I had mentioned that, let's see, do I have a wheel? I'm gonna try and reach back here and see if I can find a 90 millimeter. Here we go, 90 millimeter wheel.
Perfect.
Um, see if I can get this in here without dropping it on my keyboard. That's close enough.
Mhm.
That wheel, you can imagine if there was a mounting slot right here, that wheel would interfere. So what I
Yeah,
did is I chose to do 180 millimeter mounting. So
right.
that means from this rear slot to this hole is
Mhm.
180 millimeters. So that reduced the ride height of this frame by about 4 millimeters and obviously saved some weight. So the frame was lighter.
Mhm.
But the downside was it requires you to have a boot with 7-hole mounts, or maybe some boots have like a floating
Yeah, floating
floating
block
nut
there.
plate.
Right. Yeah.
So if you've got an FR1, an FR2, FR3, you can accommodate this frame. If you've got the new Flying Eagle X7, I think it is. Someone just showed me a picture yesterday.
Oh, the new yeah,
The
yeah.
one that's got the crinkly heel.
Yes, yeah,
They're
yeah.
white. They come in white.
Right,
Yeah, I'm interested to try those. Those look like they can accommodate this frame.
right.
So this was my favorite frame for a very long time. I was
Mhm.
skating this a lot.
Yeah.
I would say this frame is great for anybody that, I mean, 4 by 100 just it's fast,
Yeah.
but it's not ridiculous like 4 by 110. Oh, that's the one frame I left downstairs.
Oh, no.
That's right. Um, the Yeah, I would say anybody that's like size 40 or above could probably do this frame, but
Mhm.
really, if you're 44 and up, you might want to look at this frame as, you know, something like if you're a size 45,
Mhm.
skating this 4 by 110 frame is going to be like me skating 4
4
by
by
90.
90. Right,
Yeah.
yeah. I love the feeling of the 4 by 100. I mean, it's really the king of momentum, I think. I haven't personally tried the 110s, but, yeah, I just love it. The flow that you get out of the 4 by 100 is fantastic.
Yeah. And so because there were some people that, who had boots like the rollerblade twister or like
Mhm.
adapt boots, and the frame, couldn't mount to their boot without
Yeah,
being offset, I created the Endless 100 RB. And
right.
so this is the exact same specs in terms of the wheelbase. It's a
Mhm.
303 millimeter wheelbase, 4 by 100 balanced rocker, 3 by 110 flat. However, this frame is taller. So it's
Mhm.
about 4 millimeters taller. This allows it to fit on any 165 boot. And what we did here that's unique is we put longitudinal slots. So this allows you to perfectly center this frame on rollerblade twister boots
Mhm.
or adapt skates, which tend to, um, frames often don't sit in the center of those boots.
Right.
It's just the way they are. So this frame addresses that.
And Brad, could you do me a quick favor and just
Oh,
hold up those, the regular 100 and the RB just side by side to really emphasize that point? Yeah, of the slots as well, if we can get the
oh,
mounting on.
you want to see the mounting?
Yeah, yeah, 'cause this is like kind of the key difference there, right? So the regular hundreds there on the right-hand side, yeah, those have the horizontal slots, and then
Yeah.
the other ones have the vertical slots there.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to. Let's see if I can show this.
Oh, that it's
If
slightly taller for all those you
Yeah,
mentioned.
it's
What
like
is that? 1 to 2
it's like
millimeters?
no, it's about 4 millimeters taller.
4. Okay, gotcha.
Um, oh, the other thing, bonus setup on this guy. because
Mhm.
it's taller, on depending on the size of your boot and what the boot is, you might be able to fit 3 by 125 on this.
Mhm.
So I think I have a pic on the Instagram with my Twister, my old Twister Edge with 3 by 125 on this.
Yeah, yeah. The secret setup for
Yeah.
gigantic wheels.
Let's see. Rolling Flat was asking on Instagram, any future plans for a 195 millimeter 4 by 110 speed frame? I don't know. I won't rule it out, but it's not on my radar right now. I've never been a speed skater, so I don't really know what's required there. But I've been thinking about like maybe something that's like, if you're just a recreational distance skater, maybe there's a lightweight, high performance 4 by 110 frame. That's maybe not like speed skating specs, but is something for just people that like to go fast. So yeah, we'll have to see about that one. Does anybody have any questions about anything we've covered so far before I move on to our 5-wheel frames?
Uh, Chester had a quick question here. Thanks so much for joining us, Chester, and finding us from scrolling through YouTube. Size 16 skate. Yeah, I think Dandelion's actually done a great job in the chat here of answering this. Unfortunately, K2, I think, and Rollerblade are the only ones who offer a size 16 skate. I have talked with a customer about the Rollerblade XL. I think the 180 does fit on the mounting, but just go ahead and reach out to us via email. We can check on that for you if you end up going with that skate.
Yeah. Someone here is asking about any plans in the future for another cool color. Yeah, we always got cool colors coming. We got new cool wheel color coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blue, and I don't want to give it away yet, but there's a color in the blue family coming. And then as far as frame colors, yeah, we've got some things we're experimenting with.
Brad's got the Pantone color book.
I've got multiple color swatch books.
Yeah. He's always telling me the color of the year and thinking about new colorways for frames. Stop asking about red though. Brad won't do red no matter how hard we get.
You know what? I might do a red, but it's not going to be like fire engine red.
Okay.
It would be something different. We might do a light red.
A light red. Okay. You mean pink.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. What do we got next, Brad?
So let's move on to the 5-wheel frames. Okay, so we have our 5-wheel frames are called the ARC frames. We have a whole family of them at this point. We have them in 165, UFS, and Trinity. Finally, Trinity. So Andrew, if I miss anything, keep me honest here.
Sure.
Let's see. Where do we want to start?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell people about? I'm sure you get this question
in,
where people want to know, like, should I get a 5-wheel frame over a 4-wheel frame? What are the differences?
Yeah. That's a great place to start, I think. So yeah, really the idea behind the 5-wheel frames was, endless frames. I think a lot of people were under the misconception that they were, wizard or flatland style skating frames, and you can do, wizard style, flatland style skating on endless frames, and they're great for that. They're way better than
you're talking about the 4-wheel.
The 4-wheel frames,
yeah.
But they weren't specifically made for that. They have the dual setup. They're made for trail skating. They're really made for a huge variety of skating and kind of, general urban skating to, recreational skating to long distance skating, those kinds of things. But I think the 5-wheel frames were, an answer to people are using these for kind of flatland style skating, wizard style moves, these really flowy, ice skating style moves. So let's lean into that. And so the 5-wheel frames, I think, are great for people who want, the flatland style skating experience. They want that feeling of flow. They want more pivots. They want more swivels. That's what the 5-wheel frame is about. And it's the best frame at doing that. So yeah, what frame do we have up first here, Brad?
Okay. So we'll start with the smallest one, which is the ARC CS. It's only available in 165. Yep. We did a whole episode on ARC CS.
Yep.
I believe it was the last one.
Yeah, the last one where we got to talk with Steffi. Yeah, Steffi Blading. Yeah.
Yeah. So this I'll just touch on this one briefly. Okay,
Go
so
for it.
maybe we should come back to this one because this is kind of an outlier.
It's kind of a special one. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
we'll come
fair.
back to
That's
it.
fair.
Let's,
Yeah.
let's come back to this one. Okay, let's start with
Let's start with the regular arc. Why not?
the basic arc frame. Oh, I didn't even consider that this is just going to be
That it's reflecting your your screen.
There's Andrew.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's just
Look,
crazy.
there it is.
This is the arc.
I love
I might
that.
have to put this down because it's just like I have a black,
Showing
I have a
your
black one.
screen perfectly. It's so reflective.
This is the UFS version of the arc frame. We
Yeah.
make this also in 165, and then
Yep.
I just came out with the Trinity version of arc, which is this one.
So yeah, so low ride height. That thing looks amazing.
Yeah, this thing is, it's just so
It's a rocket, you know.
yeah, it does look like a rocket.
I love it.
So arc is a little different than other 5-wheel frames. And
Yeah.
again, we did a whole episode on the development of the arc frame, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's 84 or 80 millimeter wheels on the outside with
Right.
3 76 millimeters on the inside.
Yep.
We use a rocker axle on the, let's see, there we go.
Yeah.
We use a rocker axle on the end, so you can configure 84 millimeter wheels with the rocker up, or you can stick in 80 millimeter wheels and go rocker down, or we have a silver rocker axle that we make that allows you to get enhanced
between,
amounts of
yeah.
rocker for 80 millimeter only.
Right.
So like Andrew said, this was our frame designed specifically for wizard style skating.
Yep.
It's
great
this one's UFS. This is equivalent in wheelbase to, like, if you're coming from a 5x76 setup, this is going to have a familiar pivot spacing. It's got a 77 millimeter pivot spacing in the center, so it feels very familiar.
Yeah.
The bigger wheels on the outside give you some additional speed, and then also if you're really into doing like heel and toe press tricks, will give you a little more footprint for those tricks.
Yeah.
So then there's a slightly longer version called the Arc ES. Oops.
Yeah.
Arc ES, which is enhanced stability.
Mm-hmm.
This one is equivalent to 5x80. So it has a center pivot spacing of 81 millimeters, just like a 5x80 frame.
Yeah.
But what we do is we use the exact same wheel configuration. So this one is 84, 76, 76, 76, 84. And why did we double down on the 84s and 76? What we found was that 76s were just such a sweet spot for the wheel because they gave you great acceleration while being almost as fast as an 80, or in some cases, they can be faster than 80s. The ones that we make, I think, are faster than...
Yeah, some of the 80s.
Like here's a Street Invader, and here's our wheel. This 76.
Right. Yeah.
It has a pretty good sized core for the 76 millimeter wheel, so it tends to be really fast.
Yeah.
And then the 84s. Just I don't want to get bogged down in the details because we have.
Yeah, go watch
all this, but go watch the other episode, and you can hear us really nerd out, deep dive on this stuff.
Yeah, episode 4, great talk about the design of the arc frame.
Yeah.
I think you really nailed it. And one thing that I love about the arc frame that we spoke with Stephanie, I think you spoke in the past too, is that rocker axle on the end. I know it's slightly extra work for setup, but it really lets you dial in that rocker that you want for your flatline style skating, and I think that's a huge advantage across the market. Look at that tuning fork you got.
It just rings like a bell.
That's the UFS frame, and these things are stiff, responsive.
If your frame goes dong or clunk, your frame is either really heavy or very flexible and floppy. So if you want to know how stiff your other frames are relative to an endless frame, just like try and hold it lightly and then flick it. If it has a nice high pitched ring, that's a stiff frame.
Yeah, that's a good stiff frame.
Yeah.
All right, Brad. Let's go ahead and talk about the CS, and then I think we got a few questions from the crowd here to
okay, so the CS.
Yes.
So we made this. So we made a 5x76 equivalent frame, a 5x80 equivalent frame with the Arc and the Arc ES.
Right.
And I thought nobody's making a 5-wheel frame for smaller footed skaters or for people that maybe are looking for something even more maneuverable. So the Arc CS was born.
Mhm.
This guy has a wheelbase of 292, which
Right.
is equivalent to the 90 ES frame.
Yeah.
And with wheels on it, this thing, like the overall total length of the frame is, I think, roughly equivalent to the Endless 90 with
Yeah.
4x90 millimeter wheels. Um, Wheels are 76, 68, 76, 68, 76.
Mhm.
What that allowed us to do was get an even pivot spacing.
Mhm.
So this is equivalent with its pivot spacing to 5x72. So it's got a 73 millimeter
Mhm.
wheelbase or wheel spacing. And so you get a nice, consistent, intuitive rocker.
Yep.
But the 68 millimeter wheel allows us to drop the ride height. So you get it's really low, very light.
Mhm.
We made this specifically for 165. It's got these longitudinal slots, so you can really dial in the front to back position and get these pivots, specifically the second pivot,
Mhm.
right under the ball of your foot or wherever in relation to the ball of your foot.
Right.
Um, City Blades did a nice review of this frame, and so did D's Skates. So go check out their reviews. I think I
Mhm.
might have them both linked in a playlist on our channel. Um, but yeah, this was yeah, we did episode 8. We did a deep dive on this one with Stephanie. We talked all about why we made certain design decisions, and
Yep.
but
And
yeah, if you're, I don't know, Andrew, maybe you can give some thoughts on who it's for.
yeah, if you're looking for the ice skating experience, okay, D Skates had some comments on that. Obviously, we can't make an ice skating experience exactly the same as it is on ice, but I think it gets very close, and it's definitely the most compact 5-wheel frame. The pivot spacing feels fantastic, and it's just so fun and flowy and swivelly. And so, if you're a big-footed person interested in that kind of skating that's a lot more maneuverable, definitely go with the CS. If you're a small-footed person looking for that 5-wheel experience, it's pretty much the only frame I think that's really accommodating the small feet skaters out there. So
Yeah.
definitely for you as well.
Let's see. Let me just scroll up here.
Yeah, go
Someone
for it.
asks on Instagram, which arc do I have to choose for wizard skate beginner, also urban skater,
Mhm.
4x80 or one of the arc frames? Trinity, by the way.
Mhm.
I would say it depends on your foot size,
Yeah.
and you need to decide if you think you're going to be doing more recreational and urban skating, or you
Mhm.
really are going to concentrate on 5-wheel wizard skating. Like
Yeah.
if all you want to do is flow and do fancy footwork and a bunch of tricks,
Yeah.
I would say the Arc 5-wheel frames are the way to go.
Yep.
But if you're looking for something that's more versatile and will allow you to just do any kind of skating, then I would look at one of our 4-wheel frames.
Yeah, and having skated both those as honestly kind of my primary setups, I think the biggest advantage you get on the 4x84 is the option to do 3x100, which is really kind of conducive for kind of trail or longer distance skating. So that's kind of the deciding factor. But I think you gave a great argument for both sides, Brett.
Yeah. Daniel says, yeah, don't hesitate. It's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, for sizing, I would say Arc CS if you're under size 39.
Mhm.
Um, Arc if you're from size 40 to 43, I think is what we have. And
Yeah.
then if you're 44 and up, the Arc ES. And there's some wiggle room there. Like if you
Of
know
course.
you like a longer frame, like, or you like a shorter frame, or
Mhm.
or you just want to be super dancy, like,
Yeah.
but that's our general guidelines.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Deep has a quick question here. I'd love to touch on. I know you asked
Yeah,
this a little bit earlier, Deep. How to protect the mercury finish from being scratched? Any thoughts on that?
it's going to get scratched. I mean, I think if you buy this frame, you just have to commit to it not
Yeah.
being perfect once you put it on your skate. I mean,
Right.
this one actually was a brand new one. I just unwrapped it from the paper, but I was
Yeah.
looking at my Mercury frames. I have some 4 by the Endless 100 in Mercury.
Right. All right, everyone. Brad's internet was a little
No,
shoddy.
I'm good.
Oh, he's
I'm good.
back. He's back.
I'm
Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like you won't notice the scratches from any distance. Like if you're trying to take a video for Instagram, it's going to look
Yeah.
great. I mean, good example is Bill Stoppard. He
Oh,
skates
amazing.
Mercury frames.
Yeah.
If you ever see a close up of his frames, they're scratched to hell. But from far away, they still look shiny and mirrory. But I would just clean them with some water and a microfiber cloth. Get a clean microfiber cloth. You don't want to like rinse the frame off first so you don't have like dirt particles, because if you have a piece of sand and you take it and you wipe it across the frame, you're going to get a nice big line. And there's no way to make it go away. Unless you were to like, you know, get some polishing compound.
Right.
But yeah, just
they won't
if you want to put it on the shelf and never use it, go for it.
Adib has another quick question here. I want to know which setup works best for a newbie like me, currently practicing wizard stuff on the Seba CJ2, which is a boot that, you know, I know you love, Brad. Definitely recommend the Mercury Arc UFS. And depending on your boot size, as Brad just mentioned, if you got you know, a larger boot over 44, definitely consider the Arc ES. Otherwise, I think the regular Arc, if you're below that, would be great.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's this one. Any plans for a 72 plus 76 or 80 millimeter Arc UFS frame for ultra low ride height? At a certain point, you just are so low. This was one of the problems. Actually, we thought about this when we were doing the Trinity frames. Is, you know, with a lot of wizard skating moves, you need to get on a deep edge, and so at a certain point, you don't want the boot to hit the ground, right? So you kind of need some height.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you saw an aggressive skater doing really deep edges? Like, they can't.
Right. Yeah. I think even on my Trinity frames, that wing starts getting scratched on the 80s. So
yeah,
can't go too low.
So yeah, ride height, you know, like super low ride height isn't the end all be all. But I will say that this feels pretty good for ride height.
Person here tuning in from Colombia. I just want to say greetings to you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Love our international Endless family, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So Demigods9 on Instagram asks, what is the best selling frame? I would say the Endless 90.
By far. Yeah. That's
by far. Yeah. Oh, here's somebody has got some tips here. Mine's gotten scratched up, but then I use an art style Dremel to like draw a Damascus design. Oh, that's creative. I would love to see that. Send us that.
Yeah, DJ Drift King. Send us a picture of that awesome frame.
Says it's got a coppery underlayer. Yeah, it does. Actually, I'm kind of curious what that looks like.
Nice. Sebs had a question. Yeah, I mentioned for 44 and up, Endless 90 ES. I have a Twister XT 10.5. Is it safer to go ES?
You could go either way. You're kind of on the cusp. I think you need to decide if you want to be more maneuverable or more stable. If you're into more speed and stability, I would go 90 ES.
Yeah, Dandelion apparently has that exact same boot and size and recommended the 90 ES. And then just, of course, a celebrity shout out to our wonderful friend and skater, Nicholas Swan, who's in the chat.
What's up, Nicholas?
Swan's in the chat, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, Nicholas.
I should point out. So, okay, not only does Nicholas's frame come in a beautiful bronze color, but some portion of the sales goes to Nicholas. So when you buy that frame, you're supporting Nicholas, you're supporting his family, you're supporting his skate shop, Beehive Skate Shop. So go buy the Swan frame.
Yeah. Anything else on Instagram, Brad?
Why? Okay, so a bunch of people love the mirrored frames. I agree. It does look fire. Why is the front rocker important for the Endless 90? So most of our frames for the 4-wheel setups have what I call balanced rocker. It's a banana rocker, so that means that the front and the rear wheels are moved up relative to the center wheels by the same amount. We actually have a good blog post about this on the website where I basically explain how any rocker is ultimately a banana rocker. It just comes down, any four-wheel skate with rocker is going to be banana rocker. It's just whether it's symmetric or asymmetric. So asymmetric would mean you have less rocker maybe in the back than you do in the front, or vice versa.
Right.
So if you have a flat setup, you will over time wear the front and back wheels just from normal skating, and you will create a rocker. And most people, if you're not even aware that there's a rocker, you probably are aware that the skate maybe feels better, or you consider it broken in. That's like a natural rocker that you wear in. So our frames just have the rocker built into it. So they have that feeling right out of the box. Oh, Livy says, I love that color so much. Livy, you need this. I follow you. I follow your account, Livy. But I think you need to get a better skate first. So feel free to reach out to me. I can give you some recommendations on boots to get so you can get one of these sweet pink frames.
Cool. While we let these wonderful comments and questions keep coming in, keep sending us your comments and questions. Dandelion, I do see you're trying to start a movement for endless brown colored wheels in the chat. I want to acknowledge that, but
it's probably not going to happen.
But while we do that, Brad, just to kind of summarize everything, you want to run through the frames one more time and just give like the one sentence or like 3-word like what this frame is for everybody. Maybe we can start off with the Endless 80s.
Oh man, I didn't put them in order, but
oh no, we can. Okay, we can
no,
just go.
I got it. I got
frame
it.
that you
found
got.
It.
Cool.
Endless 80. This is the shortest frame, 255 millimeters.
Yep.
38 and below.
Light, agile, fun. Love this
light,
frame.
Light, agile, fun.
Yeah.
Playful.
Playful for sure.
Endless Swan. It's on the ground. Sorry.
Ooh, the ultimate urban frame.
The ultimate urban frame.
Yeah.
Indestructible. Yeah. Super rigid. Can take a beating.
Yeah, will survive the crazy jumps that Nicholas gets up to.
Yeah. Endless 90.
Yep.
This is the new standard. This is it right here.
It does it all. 3x110, 4x90.
Yeah. It's fast. It's maneuverable. It's versatile. It's lightweight.
Yep. Great frame.
90 LR Trinity, all that, but just lower.
Yeah.
This happens to be the preferred frame of Ari Bortz, the stuttering skater. So if you follow him on Instagram or YouTube, this is what Ari is skating. He absolutely loves this frame. And this one's just super low, super stiff.
Yep.
90 ES. This is the standard for big-footed skaters or people that just want more stability.
Yeah.
291 millimeter wheelbase.
Also the best 3-wheel endless setup that we have, I think.
Well, depends on your foot size, but definitely
fair.
this is my favorite. This is my preferred frame. Endless 100.
And the 100 RB, the king of momentum. And
the king of momentum. This guy's a cruiser. Oh, we didn't talk about the Endless 110. I have the Endless 110s downstairs. It's freaking long. It's 333 millimeters, 4x110 or 3x125. It's a beast. If anybody wants one, reach out to me. I will personally make you a special coupon code and hook you up.
It is the beast of big wheel blading.
What did I call it once? The battle cruiser.
The battle cruiser. I think that was the name. Yeah, we were rolling around San Jose. Yeah. The Endless 110 is the battle cruiser.
Endless 100 RB. This is the 4x100 experience for people with twisters or adapters.
Yeah.
Endless 80 UFS, Endless 90 UFS. This is, if you have an aggressive background and you're looking to get into an endless frame and you've got a UFS boot you love, this is it. This is where it's at. These are amazing in the skate park. You can still do grinds. So that's those.
The stiffest frames I think I've ever skated, the most responsive for sure. Yeah. Nice. I think.
Then we've got the Arc family of frames.
Yeah,
this
and these are,
if you're looking to wizard skate, you're looking for a 5-wheel experience.
Yep.
I personally believe this is the best frame on the market. I know you're not going to be in a special club, but I do feel like this offers some exceptional performance over other offerings.
Yeah, dialed and customizable
Yeah,
flatland experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
super responsive. You will feel the most connected
yeah,
to the wheels you've ever felt with this frame.
yeah. Pivot spacings feel great. And then yeah, the CSR, the urban ice frame. I think that was their tag, right?
Yeah,
So
let's
I
see.
think yeah, that was a great rundown of frames.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then finally the Arc CS urban ice skating, just super playful.
go watch
Swivel your
that
heart
video.
out.
Go watch that promotional
Yeah,
video. I love that.
yeah.
It's so good.
All right, let's see. Should we answer a couple questions and then give everyone the discount code we promised at the beginning of the?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's wrap this thing up.
All right, Eric, I'm gonna go back here in the Instagram, and maybe you can cover the YouTube.
Yeah, I got the YouTube side here.
I got a question from Wasabi Guy. What percentage of skaters use rockered skates? What percentage use 3, 4, or 5 wheels on your frames? That I don't know if I have that data, but everybody, if you skate your skates for more than like a couple days, you're gonna have a rocker.
Yeah.
And so, whether you want it or not, that rocker is going to be there until you rotate your wheels and, it goes away. But so in that sense, almost everybody is skating rockered skates. But in terms of, skating skates that have a rockered frame, like the Endless frame, definitely has become more popular in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say at this point, it's probably getting up to half, because there's still, obviously downhill skaters and speed skaters and aggressive skaters like skating flat, but everybody else loves a rocker.
It's way more fun. If you haven't tried it, please try it.
Yeah. And as for who's skating 3, 4, or 5 wheels, I'd say 4-wheel frames are probably the most popular because it's a good, it's just a good
frame length, wheel size ratios, right?
Yeah. And then having 4 wheels for a rocker makes a lot more sense than having 3 wheels with a rocker. If anybody's ever tried to bomb a hill on a tri-skate that has worn-in wheels, you know what I'm talking about.
I've done it, and on the actual rockered power slide frames too, where you flip that axle up and give yourself a 2 millimeter V rocker on 3 wheels. Not fun.
Let's see. I think that was all the.
Great. Daniel has a quick question for us here on YouTube. What colors will the full profile wheels be in? Anything interesting?
I would love to make fun colors for the wheels, but the economic reality is that all you guys you all want white wheels. I don't know why, but like I would like to make some fun colors, but yeah, the shops love white wheels and black wheels.
Yeah.
So we will probably do white first, and second color will probably be black, but I would love to do another color after that.
Yeah. So let us know. Yeah. Let us know what your top color pick is.
I took a poll a while ago, and it was like, what's your color preference? White, black, pink, yellow, or something else. And it was like, everyone wants white.
Dr. Drift King says, I have the 90, which are in my car and vacation frames. Love that. Dandelion, thanks so much for the love here. Sort of transparency not often available in our industry. Yeah, we love being open and transparent about the design behind these frames and the thought behind them.
We gotta do, Andrew. At some point we need to do like a wheel show. You know how we did the boot show? We got to do a wheel show.
Oh, I love it. Let's do it.
We got probably after the round wheels are available, we'll do a wheel show.
It's Abao is asking about when you're looking to buy endless frames. I don't know. I think you're asking, do I buy 84 or 90 or hundreds? Can you rent models?
Like how do you? Yeah, is there like a way to try these out?
There's actually a great event coming up in Berlin, right?
Yeah, there's it's called Return Berlin. It's going to be a wizard skating focused event that we're sponsoring. Probably should mention that in the news. It's going to be in May, I think towards the end of May. We made a post about it, a collab post a few days ago. But we're going to be sending over some frames for people to try there. You can, if you're in the Netherlands, This Is Soul Skate Shop.
Yeah,
has a
lets you
bunch
try.
of our frames that they have available for people to rent and try out.
Yeah.
We are working on, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm working with a skate shop in Canada to get some rental slash demo frames
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Um,
We're trying to make it happen. Unfortunately, I think it's regional
yeah,
availability for now.
I bet. Hey, Nicholas Swan, we got to get some demo frames in your skate shop. So let's talk.
Yeah, let's do that.
His two skate shops, if anybody doesn't know, Beehive Skate in Salt Lake City, Utah, they opened up a second location in Denver. So
Yeah.
go follow Beehive Skate Denver.
Dandelion asking, any plans for endless lineage timeline posters showcase the frames and their design origins and specs, blueprint posters and
Oh,
such?
that would be
sounds
sweet.
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been keeping kind of a running tally of like the frames and their release dates, but that would be cool. Or like maybe all the frame profiles on a shirt. I don't know.
On a shirt, I love blueprint
Yeah.
shirts. Daniel here asking, will the new blue wheels be available in all sizes?
Starting with 84. Crap, what did I do? Did I do 84 and 90?
So not everything just yet, but I
Yeah.
think 84 and 90 I think are our two most popular wheel sizes.
Yeah. I think,
So
I mean, ultimately, yeah, I would like to have everything, but it's just expensive. So we'll get there.
yeah, and then Crit Commando. I don't think Brad can answer this, but I'll throw it up here anyways. Which skate shop in Canada?
I think I probably could. I mean, we're going
Okay.
to work it out. It's a Solo Inline.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
So they're
great
in
team
both
there.
Montreal and Toronto now. They have a new location in Toronto.
Exciting stuff. Warlock saying demo frames at Intuition Skate Shop in LA, SoCal would be dope. Yeah, reach out. Any local skate shop that you guys have, reach out to them. Have them get in contact with us.
Yeah, we'd love to arrange that stuff.
For sure.
Let's
Great.
see. White wheels are played out. They do look good in photos when they're brand new, but yeah, they're played out as soon as you ride them.
It's about which skate shop in Thailand or Asia. Go check out our where to buy section on the Endless Blading website. It's on one of the drop downs there. We have a ton of partner stores around the world right now that we've done a really good job of connecting with. So yeah, take a look there for your local shop.
Someone asked if we'll open a skate shop in Kazakhstan. I don't think so. If you know of a skate shop in Kazakhstan that wants to become a dealer, send them our way.
Yeah.
So if you want to see what the dealers are that sell Endless products, just go to the where to buy page on the website. We're always taking on new dealers. So.
All right, Brad. Well, let's not delay it any longer here.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. Brad, take it away.
No, you have at it. You can push the button. I'll let you.
All right, fine. For those that have been hanging out with us in celebration of the new design of our Endless 100 UFS frames, which are coming soon.
Well, I wouldn't say soon, but
okay, which are coming and in the works here for all of our Endless 100 frames. That's the 100, 100 RB, and 100 Trinity right now. The Kings of Momentum, the great flow frame. If you haven't tried them yet, they're a great experience over 90s and 84s. Anyway, discount code for the next 24 hours, episode 9. Real simple. Couldn't get any more simple than that. Just put episode 9 in checkout if you got an Endless 100 frame in your cart, and that'll give you 10% off for the next 24 hours. So
yeah,
really excited to share that with everyone watching.
Sale ends April 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you miss it, sorry.
Yeah,
we'll probably do something. If it goes well, maybe we'll do it on the next episode. So.
And I think with that, thanks everybody for tuning in. It was so great to share just kind of an overview of all of our frames. Hope it was helpful. And just, shout out to everyone joining in, sending all our love to everybody. So
yeah, like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you want to see us do for the next episode.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to reach out too if you want to come on screen with us and chat about anything. We love having guests on. It's been such a fun experience to chat with the community. So we'd love to have you on the show. So don't hesitate to reach out and let us know what you think. All right, I think that's it. Episode 9. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And take care.
See ya.